And as one of them, I'm going to say that I am sorry. I was extremely wrong, and I think watching the families getting taken away and Trey Reed being hung in a tree got to me.
You couldn't read the mass deportation signs at the RNC? Is that what you need? They needed to be in a different language, maybe. What language do you read in? Because the mass deportation signs was in English. The Great Replacement theory was in English. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and I'm troubled. Because y'all keep sending me this video. Every time I open up my Gmail, somebody's sending me this video. What am I, the Black Maga whisperer? What does this much exposure to Candace Owens and Cartier family and Officer Tatum do to a person? Think of the children. I have a family. Okay, fine, put it on.
Lo siento a las personas de la otro país de los Estados Unidos.
One for English. One for English. No habla. We'll put the subtitles on or something.
Lo siento demasiado. Извинит, Masha. Dobuti Jungwen. No la sabía. No la sabía que es pasando.
How many languages are being spoken right now? We only supposed to get 8 seconds of the video? Like, is this just an 8-second video translated into different languages? What's going on?
De los Estados Unidos en otro país. Lo siento demasiado. And Kosi, if you are an American citizen, I just want you to know there are some conservatives and Republicans that didn't vote, but...
Okay, before we even get into all that, how you just bust into English talking regular like that? Like you didn't... How you just act like that wasn't the beginning of your vid? I'm just supposed to sit there and wait till is this what they be doing? Oh, that's how they throw people off the scent. Oh, because if they come out of the gate Black Maga, then everybody, okay, I got you. Okay. Officer Tatum should try that. I can't wait to hear everybody black be dumb in Russian.
Most of your friends that's black is dumb.
If you are an American citizen, I just want you to know there are some conservatives and Republicans that didn't vote, but took the opportunity of telling over 500,000 people to vote. And as one of them, I'm going to say that I am sorry.
Okay. Okay. We have confronted people voting the couch before, you know, both parties are basically the same, or I didn't know there was an election. That was in my backsliding days. That was me in my 20s. But in both cases, that is somebody that does not have a preference, does not have a strong preference. I know. I'm every bit as bothered. You clearly have a strong preference, right? You clearly have a strong preference. So you're not coming from the place of both parties are the same. You advocated for Trump and Magadom. So the only reason for you not to vote would be either you don't believe in what you're selling, or you want to absolve yourself of the consequences if you're wrong. Unfortunately, B is nonsense, because when you move more votes than you're worth yourself, consequences come quickly and they don't leave. Welcome to FAFO season.
I just want you to know there are some conservatives and Republicans that didn't vote, but took the opportunity of telling over 500,000 people to vote, and as one of them, I'm going to say that I am sorry. I was extremely wrong, and I think watching the families getting taken away and Trey Reed being hung in a tree got to me.
You couldn't read the mass deportation signs at the RNC? Is that what you need? They needed to be in a different language, maybe. What language do you read in? Because the mass deportation signs was in English. The Great Replacement theory was in English. So was that the problem? Maybe that was the problem.
I'm not gonna cry on screen, so I'd rather cry before I hit the record button, bum bitch. Just so I apologize for believing Trump. And I apologize for what's about to come next. I apologize for those that don't know history.
Okay. You apologize for those that don't know history. Are you signing up for that yourself? Are you signing up for that yourself? Because if you're not signing up for that yourself, your apology isn't accepted. I don't know that it will be anyway. We're going to have to go to the peanut gallery. We're going to have to go to the audience on that one. But it's certainly a no from me, dog, if you won't even admit to your own ignorance of history. That's what we were talking about before.
I apologize for those that don't know the 27th Amendment. I apologize for those that don't know how this is actually going to go about. And I apologize to those who haven't been paying attention. But I'm going to let you know in the next 6 months, the United States of America is going to turn into Armageddon. And I told people to vote for it, so I take accountability to protect my civilians. I could get your ass up here.
Okay. You take responsibility for protecting the civilians. That would have been a good line of logic to use in November. That would have been a good line of logic to use in November with the stuff that you were putting out, protecting civilians. You know, I mean, that would have been good then. Wow. Life comes at you fast, because that was my first video of this creator that I had ever seen. This was my second, which was like a month ago. I ain't even gonna get mad. I'm young, black and rich. Wow. That was a month ago. You were young, black and rich a month ago. So I have to ask, did you get hit with some negative Airbnb reviews? Did you get hit with some cancellations? Like what exactly happened new? Because what's going on now was stuff that Kamala talked about. Not we knew in January, we knew last September. We certainly knew last November. So I'm not sure did they leave a stain on the carpet? I'm trying to figure out exactly how you went from young, black, and rich to this in a month. This was number 3.
What's about to happen in the United States of America calls for us to do something that's never been done before. And with social media the way that we have it right now, we have to use it to the best of our ability. So at this time, I'm going to call on certain countries, and them countries are going to know about the language that I brokenly speak. Because as an American, and if you have watched the TV, then you know that we are in trouble. This is a message to all countries that are not the United States, and I ask all people to share this. And I apologize in advance for my broken languages, but I hope you can get the message. México y la otra país debajo de los Estados Unidos. En 2 meses necesitamos tu ayuda. Russia, привет. Как дела? Нам нужна твоя помощь. China，早上好，我的朋友，你好吗？我们是要一的帮助。Assalamu alaikum, kaya faluk. Sa'adatuna.
I like the way she reversed that, where she went with the English first. I like that. That was good because then that set the table for the video for me, so that I knew, you know, when I wasn't going to understand no more. That was solid. You clearly seem to be a read, well-read, okay read, decently educated person, yet you find yourself having pushed for Trump, not voted, and now horrified. Guess all sense ain't common, huh? Guess what that is. Yeah. Well, you did say you want to take accountability and responsibility. Let's see how this lands.
This is going to be a follow, unfollow, or block me type of a situation. And if you don't like cussing, this is where you want to click off. I keep seeing these videos from former Trump supporters about how they regret their vote and they've woken up. And then I keep seeing all these videos from independents and Democrats that we should be welcoming and be kind and be understanding. Let me say this with my whole fucking chest. Fuck no and fuck you, and here's why. I don't forgive you, and I never will. And this is where most of you are going to click the fuck off because you don't want to hear the hard truth. This isn't about one policy or one mistake, the way you're trying to make it seem. This is about a man who ripped the soul of our nation in half. While you stood by in a MAGA hat, he poisoned our culture. He mocked, bullied, and threatened anyone who didn't swear absolute loyalty to him. Like a fucking dictator. He stoked a rage inside of people that gave fascists and racists permission to come screaming out of the fucking woodwork. But that wasn't enough for you. You voted for him not once, not twice, but 3 fucking times. Now you want back in because something finally touched you? Because now your rights, your family, your life is somehow threatened? You didn't care when he said he was going to carry out mass deportations. You didn't care when he vowed to dismantle our goddamn government. You didn't care about the environment, women's rights, civil rights, or even fucking democracy itself. Simultaneously called yourself a fucking patriot. You didn't care about honor or decency. You supported a man who was brutally unkind, who hates the poor, hates anyone that's not white. You called yourself a fucking Christian while supporting it. You watched this fucker orchestrate an insurrection, but that wasn't enough for you because you still showed up. Now, when the flames are licking your fucking porch, you want to come stand behind our shield? Same fucking snowflakes you've been mocking for a decade? Now we're supposed to welcome you? You put the bullets in Trump's gun. I want you to stay regretful. I want you to live in that discomfort every motherfucking day. The same way that every person you voted to hurt is gonna live in it. You don't get applause from me or from anybody on my side for pointing out the fire when you lit the fucking match. Don't come to us for comfort. Damn sure don't expect trust, because 4 years and a better Republican candidate, your ass is gonna vote red again. And even if you do vote blue, do not think for one goddamn second that you voting blue in a future election erases the fucking hatred and destruction that you have unleashed on this country. We don't need you to feel better about yourself. That's not our job. We need you to make it right without asking for absolution. So no, you will never get absolution from me or anybody like me. You will get spun around and pointed at a fucking mirror. You will get it from yourself by showing up every goddamn day to undo the damage that you have done. By confronting your own community, by speaking out and standing up against the same spineless piece of shit politicians that you supported and helped put into office. You want to unfuck this nation? Earn it. With your actions, not your fucking words.
Wow, that didn't go good. That didn't go good at all. No, that went about as bad as the MAGA dentist floating out the laughing gas thing. That went poorly. But you know what? Maybe she wasn't talking to you directly. You know what I mean? That was maybe she wasn't addressing you directly. How about something direct?
I remember Chewbacca, right? She was so pro-Trump a couple of months ago. Now look. It's almost like we told you. But I do find it kind of interesting that you're like, for the people that don't understand history or don't know history, I feel sorry for y'all. Love, we clocked this before the election. We clocked this back in 2016, back in 2020. We clocked it before the vote was required. This is what was going to happen. I was already comparing Schmittler and Trump before this term because we saw the fucking resemblances. It was obvious as fuck. I mean, finally, you're waking up. Hopefully you can get your 500,000 followers or whatever the fuck to wake up also. Or I don't know if this is just some grift to sell more of your end of the world doomsday merch. I don't know.
Do you have end of the world doomsday merch? Is that? No.
With all the weird shit that's currently going on in the world, you should pack up a bag. So let's do it together.
These gonna be some hard allegations to beat. I can tell you that right now. These gonna be some hard allegations to beat. Let me find out next video she crying. She gonna have a whole Kleenex sponsorship. That's bad. That is real. Hey, you just gotta eat this one. It looks how it looks. Don't put the phone down. Put the phone down.
I remember Chewbacca, right? She was so pro-Trump a couple of months ago.
Now, Cole, I was wondering why you were playing nice in my comment section in the live today in front of 1,000 people. And when somebody treated you with respect, this is what you decide to do? Oh, I'm gonna chew your ass up. 435 seats. 435 seats. Your bitch ass is running out of so much content that you currently had to come back to the conservatives to get more. Jesus Christ. Let me tell you something, Cole. I'm a Negro. Something you'll never be. No matter how much you scream to the top of your lungs that you are an ally, you just proved the opposite. Let me be very clear on how. No matter what president is in charge, darling, there are black people still being found hanged in goddamn trees. Did you clock that, T? No matter what president is in charge, darling, there is still a police brutality against black people since the beginning of time. So as I stated and restated before, it don't matter who we have in charge, whether he is black, white, Puerto Rican, a Haitian, or a woman. We are still dying. I don't see you mentioning that, bitch. I don't know if you knew, but the executive branch is second, Article 2, and that means 1,600 seats. You had 435 fucking seats to fill in Congress, and you're currently worried about us? You could have spent your time opening that goddamn book and teaching your people to vote for the people in Congress instead of having Nancy Pelosi and everybody else that's been in since John F. fucking Kennedy, and that is why you currently have Project 2025, not Trump. They're not stopping him because you didn't vote the way you were supposed to vote. You didn't teach the way that you were supposed to teach. Dumbass. And no matter how mad you get at Chewbacca, I didn't vote, bitch. You did. That will never catch my name on this. That's the point. If I can convince a bunch of people, then why didn't you convince them to vote for the Senate and the House of Representatives? That's my question. You can keep coming after conservatives all that you want, but you better be preparing for war.
Okay. So let me get this straight. Your response to him very correctly pointing out how all of the things that are now unfolding before your eyes were apparent to us before is to say, why didn't you educate your people better when you were actively working against that? Is that your response is, why didn't you do more to stop me? After you said you took responsibility and accountability, is that what I just heard? Did I just hear the defendant say, Your Honor, honestly, they should have had a better security system, if we being real. So, they should have had a better system. It's not my fault. I rob. That's what I do. I rob. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Wow. With her whole chest. And then wanted to talk about how being black is something that you'll never be, but you're not the ally that you say. No, you're not the ally. You're not the ally, as you have admitted already. So what is this? It's almost like he was correct in talking about you selling the doomsday merch, because I have to ask why you would go through the whole song and dance of crying and asking for accountability to come back talking about how black people are catching hell regardless. So what was that?
Because one thing for sure and two things for certain, baby, I'm not Antifa. I'm not the left or anything else in between. And the people that you didn't put into House and the Senate, yeah, they're making sure that you guys are on an heirs list. So while I'm having conversations with both sides and you still looking for content, I just screwed 30,000 followers in one night just for telling the truth. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't give a fuck about none of that.
Yeah. And there you have it. And there you have it. Hey, Black Maga, come get her. Come get her. She gave up the whole thing. She gave up the whole, we got the blueprints, we got the plans, we got everything. We got it. No, we're not giving it to Cash because we want to keep it. Yeah. No, Cash, you go missing. We can't trust that. No. Wow. And I learn more and more about Black Maga every single day. She just gave up the whole entire game. Now, I do understand why she would have a little bit of smoke for Cole, because he's been on her neck for quite some time, as well he should have. See, she was new to me, but he saw the grift. You know, kind of like the rest of us saw the Trump.
President Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Fuck! It's Kamala.
Could have enacted an executive order in order for them to send over $10.5 billion
False. Again, where did you get your degrees from?
in the direction of Hurricane Helene for all 6 states.
Okay, so yes, the president can issue executive orders to mobilize federal resources for disaster relief, but they cannot allocate new funds without congressional approval. Like, at this point, I really need proof of these degrees. Like,
They could have did something as similar as George W. Bush
girl.
and mobilized a special task force
So Bush used existing FEMA funds, right? Executive orders cannot create or allocate new funds.
similar to the special task force that's been assigned to the Middle East.
So the mobilization for the Middle East was authorized by Congress.
But they didn't. George W. Bush flew over Hurricane Katrina, and the only reason why he didn't go the first day is because 80% of it was underwater. He had nowhere to land. The next day it was available, he was on the ground.
You know, Kamala has visited multiple of the states too, right? So what does that prove? You want them to go do a photo op?
The President of the United States of America doesn't need Congress. That's the whole point of the executive order.
So you don't understand executive orders, my love.
But Congress is in charge of the United States of America. So if you don't know how this country works, you would assume that everything has to be passed through them. It doesn't. Even when it comes to war, the president can enact a 90-day mission.
So it's actually 60 days with an additional 30 days for withdrawal, unless Congress approves further action. And this doesn't apply to long-term wars, only short-term.
Conflict to send our military to war without the permission of Congress. That's how we were in Afghanistan for so long.
So yes, the president can deploy troops temporarily. Congress must authorize longer military engagements and approve funding. The Iraq and Afghanistan wars had congressional approval. If the president does not get congressional approval after the 90 days, so 60 days of action, 30 days of withdrawal, they are required to pull back forces.
All these surface level arguments are going to be put to rest today, and you will be learning about this real government.
So if you're going to teach government missing context, we don't want it from you, love. You're teaching government to push your narrative, not the real one.
So put your listening ears on and get ready for a new movement on TikTok.
Get ready for a new grifter on TikTok.
I love his little 15K followers.
16.5 now. And my followers aren't white racist, so there's that.
Your boy didn't have an argument.
You said you didn't listen to the full argument because of the first thing I said that you misinterpreted. To prove your point, again. So maybe listen to the full videos. Thank you.
As soon as he opened his big ass mouth,
I mean, they don't call me a throat goat for nothing. Gotta be big.
The only thing that he got right was Kamala's name.
Oh, so you do know what her name is. So that's proving my point that you find information and make it inaccurate to run with your narrative, right? So you know how to say her name, but you say it wrong in every video on purpose. Just like you made these videos claiming something to be truth when you know it's wrong.
What you upset about? You asked for the executive order, said that the executive order has to be approved through FEMA by Congress.
No, I said funding has to be approved by Congress. Executive orders cannot allocate or create new funds. Love. And also, executive orders aren't law. If they were trying to impeach Joe Biden on his first day of office, do you really think that he'd be able to breach the Constitution and not get impeached? Let's be so fucking for real right now.
That's a lie. You said that Congress has to approve the funds for FEMA. That's a lie. Just showed that. You asked me for all of my degrees. I showed you all of the places that I stayed because I actually don't have to show you my degree.
So you don't have it. Because I didn't know visiting a city, visiting a college means you graduated from the college. Bookie butt. Because shit, let me add some shit to my resume. Fuck.
Imagine. You couldn't tell me your constitutional rights.
Well, nah, that didn't happen.
But you want my qualifications? So let me be very clear. Please keep being fans.
I could never be a fan of you. But that was funny though. I needed that laugh. Thank you.
Because over here is family. And obviously, since you're suffering so much, you're kind of finding people that align with your suffering.
Oh, is you Glacier?
Not people aligning with where you're going. That's why you're practicing the same thing as Judas and not Jesus.
I think we're losing the plot. Can you tell me how an executive order doesn't need congressional approval to allocate or create new funds? That's what we're waiting on. That's it. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And baby, I stand with Jesus. So let me be very clear, Judas. No matter how many times you go back and forth between the same people not knowing what the fuck you're doing, it doesn't change the fact that us at the top are still going to be at the top.
Love, I think the followers got to your head. The top of what? The delusional spectrum?
You're still screaming at the bottom. So I would probably fix up my life and try to do something good with it and stop bitching on the internet, because the internet is Beyonce's internet.
Please don't bring Beyonce into this. Beyonce would not approve of what you're doing on her internet.
And you're on a kid's app.
Aren't you on the same kids app? My bad.
Or learn some constitution, get read by a 28-year-old.
Okay, but can the 28-year-old take the filter off? Miss Bold Glamour. And I'm not here for followers or for clout, love. I'm here because I care what I'm saying. I care about debunking people like you. It has nothing to do with followers. I obviously have less than you, but guess what? Never been scared to debunk a lie.
And shout out to Cole for doing the Lord's work over there on TikTok. Who knows how long he'll be able. But while the rest of us deal with the consequences of your actions. You know, the stuff that you didn't give a F about.
If you are an American citizen, I just want you to know there are some conservatives.
Well, hello. I'm Chef Boughetto. I love talking about food and some other shit. Let's talk about this young lady. She's very intelligent, has several degrees, speaks several languages, but yet she encouraged her followers to vote for Trump. And now she's apologizing, letting her followers know to get ready for Armageddon. Well, ain't that some shit? I don't possess any of those degrees. However, I could have told you, young lady, that you were making the wrong decision. And because of that, you encouraged thousands of people to vote for their demise. So the folks that followed and believed in Chewbacca, you need to start a garden, indoors or outdoors. Because his first plan of action that you guys really wanted, the deportations, that affected our food supply to the point we are going to have a massive food shortage. It affected the vegetables, the chickens, and the cattle. In addition to that, you have to remember we had the avian flu that affected the birds. It's still here, and now it's trying to travel over to the cows, while the cows are still trying to fight off screwworms. And the man that you encourage everybody to vote for has taken away all guardrails to protect us from foodborne illnesses and massive chemicals in food production as well. Oh, might I add, he's also taken away all types of grants and SNAP programs that provide help and aid for people who need it for food. So baby girl, you got a lot on your hands. If you believe in God or a God, maybe you should apologize to him or her. Because you're going to have a whole lot of blood on your hands, baby girl. Some folks ain't going to see next year because they ain't had no food to eat. And didn't have money to pay for medicine. 100% tariffs.
Watching the families getting taken away and Trey Reed being gonna...
Listen up. I'm old enough to be a father. I'm also a former New Yorker. I'm a Jones generation, or the latter part of Boomer generation, but I call Jones generation. I know Trump better and longer than your fucking ass. You want some sympathy now with what's going on now with this administration for the second time he's running? Bitch, you should learn about the first time he ran about his controversy before you cast a goddamn vote. If you fucking paid attention for the first time he ran, know about the controversies, and it's your job to do your fucking research and find out whether it's true or not, things would be fucking different, but you failed on that part. Because you're just a selfish bitch. You don't think it's not gonna happen to you. Too late. It's already happened. And don't think it's gonna come for you next. Mind bubbling, you in the childbearing age. You're the first one that took the rights to have an AB for medical personnel. You should be that's the ring the bell starts to begin. You know, red flag right there. Just let you know. Hope you see this shit. I despise anybody that vote against the interest and apply that little remorse mode a little bit. It's a little bit too late. Especially if you're a federal person of color in your marginalized community, or different sexual orientation than me, or a veteran. I'm a veteran too. And anything that you vote against the interest, I had no sympathy for any one of you. Because you cast that vote, I had to go through this bullshit because of your selfishness. And believe me, deep inside, I try to keep my anger and frustration out for cumulative guidelines policies with TikTok here. Because I really want to tell you what I got and really want to feel. But we all guessed at this application, we had to go back to their rules. Just let you know. So, enough. I want you to walk and talk if you really be sincere. I want you to do the talk in remorse. If you really claim that you're fucking sincere, then they'll show some, then do some action besides grabbing that crocodile taste, that fake ass tears he's doing right now. That's all I have to say.
Well, it appears to be pretty unanimous over on this side. Yeah, we've gotten it from all walks of life. So I don't know what to tell you. Maybe go ahead and pull that video down and see if you could circle back to Black Maga and wrestle them for the last of the biscuit batter, because I can tell you the fighting over there is ferocious in the final days. Ever since they've come out and admitted that they don't need you and what a turncoat you in fact are to your own interests, it's gotten very, very ugly. Yeah. Now that much I've been seeing. We can see it from here. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. You know what? September was a month to remember. The highest views we've seen all year. I know. September. Do you remember when it first started? Do I know the lyrics? I don't even think they know the lyrics.
Wrong.
And they told me September was a low month for YouTube. You know, kids are going back to school, parents are getting back into the swing of work. Not on my channel. It's for that reason I'm always going to remember September. Huh. My anniversary was in September. It was, wasn't it? I'm gonna have to get rid of this section. As I was saying, September, what a beautiful time for love. It's also a beautiful time for merch, for that special someone in your life. I have seen your questions about the merch link, and it is up at ReeseWaters.com. However, we are undergoing some changes as we're in the process of getting it linked directly to the YouTube. So pretty soon you'll be able to see the merch right there on my page. So be on the lookout for that. And while we're talking merch, I want to send a shout out to Tracy, who sent us this dope photo and her discouraged, depleted, but never defeated t-shirt. And I also want to give a quick shout out and a happy birthday to Melva and to her daughter, as well as my man Dwight and Daryl over at the barbershop. And yeah, you can tell I just came from the barbershop because I'm shooting during the daytime. Yeah. I want you to see that, just all the crisp I want you to see, because when I get fuzzy, I start shooting at night. And then once I pass 2 weeks, I just become a faceless channel.